Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a chatty one because I'm letting the secret out of the bag, and that is the fact that we are moving out of Saskatchewan. Crazy. And I've been keeping this a secret for like a year, so I have some things to say. I took some notes, wrote some notes down so I don't go all over the place, and hopefully I can touch on like the major things here. So I guess like we'll back up a bit. One of the things that I kind of missed sharing about on here because I wasn't really posting for a few months is that back in the spring, Jared became an elder in our church, which is like some people call pastors, preachers, kind of all the same thing, except in our church for the most part they are not like full-time paid pastors. He still has a job and is an elder kind of like on the side. I don't really know how to explain it, but that general idea. And so we are moving to Edmonton next year, complete date to be figured out, and planting a church. And so this whole thing started in our hearts like last summer, like not a couple months ago, but like a year and some months ago. We were like feeling so content and we love our church family here so much. And it felt funny, but both of us starting last summer felt like God was going to be calling us to church plant, or asking us to plant a church somewhere, but we had no idea where. And it felt like such weird timing because even myself, someone that has always wanted to move out of this province, I've never been more content with like our weather and the seasons and the cold and like everything like that. Never mind just loving our church family. But we both kind of felt it on our hearts. We talked about it, prayed about it, but like didn't do anything. Fast forward to last November, so a year ago, one of our pastors told us that him and his wife were wanting to plant a church in a year and a half from that point, approximately, and they felt like we were supposed to come with. And that just felt like a big check because we had been feeling the desire to church plant but not knowing where, and they had a where, and that is Edmonton, Alberta. So like weather-wise, not a whole lot different than here, but that's great because I've been falling in love with our weather that we actually have here. And so the plan is to move to Edmonton sometime next year, late spring, summer type idea. And that brings up a lot of questions probably for people that know like our situation here. So I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully more of them will be answered. So the reasoning for the long timeline, like a year and a half, starting this process kind of like a year and a half ago, was so that we could get things kind of figured out here, make sure that our church is not just going to be left in the lurch, and also trying to figure out things in Edmonton. Like there's lots of different things going on, and so that's what we've been doing. We've been making a few connections in Edmonton, and if you are from Edmonton and want to make some connections, we should do that. And then also Jared, in the fall here, he quit his job of 15 years and started working for a different organization and is now working in a job that he can do completely remotely. His old job he couldn't, so then we can kind of move without him also having to start a new job. Thankfully that has kind of all worked out pretty nicely so far, so that's good, and hopefully he will be able to like continue in that same type of employment going forward. So it's an answer to prayer, and it's also like a continual prayer that he will have a job. And then also like on my side, bringing in some money, Patreon and my homeschool membership have been a huge blessing, and I'm thankful for everyone that's part of those because this is going to help us to be able to move. And then for like there's the whole fostering side of things, which throws things in a little bit of chaos. So back in the spring, when social services called us and asked us to take, they asked us to take our previous foster kids back, we said yes, but we told them our plans to move. So in my last video, a couple of videos ago, I shared a bit of a fostering update and that they are like working on permanency planning. I think a lot of that is because we are putting a bit of pressure on the system to get things figured out. We still have zero idea if that means they're going to be with us, if that means they're like going to move with us, if they're going to find a different home for them. Like here we have no idea what the future holds. And I think this year I chose the word trust, or God put the word trust in my heart for the year, and it's been a good one. I think it's a word that's going to carry through to next year, probably in addition to like a new word, because I have no idea what's going to happen with fostering, but social services is aware that we're moving, and hopefully they will figure something out. I'm just trusting. And it was originally because of this decision to move that we decided to close our home to fostering back in December of last year, not realizing that we would still end up fostering anyway. So from here, we would love your guys' prayers for any of the areas I've already talked about. We haven't figured out exactly where we're going to be living. We have a general idea, like we have an area of Edmonton, but not like a specific area. So it's going to be on the west side of Edmonton, but I don't know exactly where we're going to find a house, how big of a house we need, because we don't know how many kids we're going to have, and like that whole foster situation needs a lot of prayers, because originally I thought we were giving them lots of time, and now that we are like 6-7 months out here, and I know how slow things move in the ministry, I feel like they don't have a lot of time. But yeah, so there's that side of things. There's all the logistics of figuring out church plan stuff, getting a core team, finding friends for everyone involved. Thankfully, the family that we are moving with includes best friends for each of my kids, so that is a blessing for sure. But we're hoping to like make some connections, homeschool connections, yeah, and just like outreach, and like there's I don't even know where to start with prayer requests, honestly. It's everything. So that's the news. We will be moving sometime next year, and we need a lot of prayer. So I wanted to share this with you guys. I hope to kind of take you guys on the journey a bit for sure. This is going to be like everything from like decluttering my house because we need to move provinces and I can't take everything with me, and to like, to everything. Yeah, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed when I start to list things out. Feeling a little overwhelmed, but it's exciting. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited for us, and would love it if you guys would be praying for us through this journey.